going on, everyone? Welcome back to Jalen Talk Sports. Today we're going to do our 2025 Top 10 NFL Mock Draft. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you think about your team's picks. So I only did the first 10 picks in the draft, and I included 2 trades because I think there'll be a little bit of movement in this year's draft. But with the first overall pick, I have the Titans selecting quarterback Cam Ward out of Miami. Cam Ward has done nothing but impress me during this pre-draft process. I was already high on him going into the season with Miami based off his body of work at Washington State. And all he had to prove to me was, would he be able to do it again in a strong conference? And that's exactly what he did. 4,313 yards and 39 touchdowns. It's pretty impressive. And it's not just that. The stats aren't all that comes with Cam Ward. He's also rather athletic. He makes extremely impressive throws, and he has a cannon of an arm. The one drawback with Cam Ward is the way he kind of plays. At times, he seems too lax, or, he's too nonchalant, as they say. And I don't see that being a problem at the NFL level, because that's going to be coached out of him. They're going to say, you can't do this and you can't do that. You can't dance around and just wait 5 seconds to slang the ball. You don't have that type of time anymore. But what Cam Ward has shown me is he has the talent to adjust and, not be so lax and take the coaching that will be given to him. And I think he's the one quarterback in this draft that I truly have faith that he can be a top 15 quarterback in this league and help your team win games, make the playoffs, compete if you put the right pieces around him. The O-line is kind of suspect, I won't lie, but that comes with it. When you have the first pick, you're not gonna have a good team. The team is not gonna be good. So, it's a work in progress, but I'm willing to place my signature on this pick. With the second pick, I have the Browns taking quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. This is the most important pick, I'd say, in the top 10. Because whatever the Browns do alters what everyone else does. And you'll see how this pick right here changes what happens right under him. Shedeur Sanders is a questionable pick for the Browns, but he might be the right pick for the Browns right now. Deshaun Watson hasn't worked out. Deshaun Watson's hurt. Deshaun Watson is not very good anymore. And that's the truth. Is Shedeur an upgrade? Right now, he honestly looks like an upgrade. He has a lot of faults. He has a lot of flaws in his game. His arm is not the strongest. He doesn't drive the ball extremely well. But one thing he does really well is place the ball where it needs to be. He's extremely accurate. And I think with a good O-line, which Cleveland has, he's going to be able to do things that he was not able to do in college because he'll feel more secure. He won't have to do hero ball all the time like he was doing at Colorado and he was doing at Jackson State. I think he's always shown us the potential to be what people want him to be. The situation was never right. I'm really interested to see how he will play when he's not under his father, when he's on his own. He's his own player. He's his own man at that point. His dad is not controlling everything to make it perfect for Shedeur. It's not all about Shedeur. I want to see him in that environment. And I think he might thrive better in that environment because that allows him to be his own player. With my third pick, I went Travis Hunter to the Giants. Travis Hunter is an impact player on either side of the field that you put him on, whether you put him at DB or wide receiver. As you can see in the graphic, I put both positions because realistically, you can draft him for either position for the Giants and he'll make an impact. If you put him in the receiver position, gosh, Jameis or Russell Wilson, with him and Malik Neighbors, that would be dangerous. Because those guys like to throw the ball down the field and those guys like to get down the field. Same thing on defense. They can use another corner. Number one corner like Travis. And I think they don't go Carter if it's between the two of them. I don't think they go Carter. I think they go Hunter because Hunter better suits their actual needs right now. And sometimes you have to draft for need. And with him, I'm okay with drafting for that need because he's so talented. And you can put him on either side and feel happy you took him at third. So, pick 4, my Patriots. We go Abdul Carter. I did not scheme it up like this. This is just how the board fell for me. Abdul Carter or Micah Parsons Jr. I like Abdul Carter a lot because he's a versatile defensive player. You don't have to keep him on the edge. You can move him around like Micah Parsons moves around. He doesn't always have to be on the edge. He can play a little bit of linebacker. He's that athletic. He gets across the field and he makes the plays you need him to make. He's an impact player. Abdul still needs to do a little bit of development. And I think this is a good situation for him to do that. They're not completely relying on him to make the impact. They have guys in that spot now that can help and, take the load off Abdul. Let him ease into the NFL and what the NFL has to bring. The stats tell you what they tell you. He's talented, he's gifted, and he could be a true specimen for the Patriots next year. Pick 5, Mason Graham. For some people, Mason Graham kind of fell off the radar after the combine, but he stayed on mine because I thought Mason Graham was bigger than he actually is. And with that being said, what he was doing at Michigan at the size he was playing at makes him extremely impressive. Something I would have hammered on if I had taken a O-lineman for the Patriots is the importance of trenches. Trenches. You need to build your trenches if you want to be successful. The Eagles have let us know that you need to build your trenches because they have guys, plethora, at the defensive side and on the offensive side. Those guys are the foundation of your offense and your defense. You have a bad O-line, then you can't throw the ball. If you have a bad D-line, they'll run right over you. Or the quarterback will have lots of time to make throws on your bad defense because you are not getting pressure. Mason Graham helps solidify a defensive line and makes it stronger. Trade. So I've moved up with Dallas and came up to 6 where the Raiders were, and I'm taking Ashton Jeanty. This is a fun pick for me because Ashton Jeanty screams Cowboys, screams Jerry Jones. What do they like to do? They like those big name guys who were stars in college And they have the asset to get up there. They need a running back because the room isn't the strongest. And this guy can be an absolute game changer for that roster. Best running back they'd have since Zeke. They did a similar thing with Zeke, taking him really early in the draft. But this guy, this Ashton Genty guy, is a true specimen. And he's a real talent. 2,601 yards and 29 touchdowns. It's nothing to scoff at. Because regardless of your conference, that's extremely hard to do. Running that many yards, getting that many touchdowns. I don't care about your competition if you're able to do that. Because at the end of the day, you still have to read. You have to read the O-line to find your gaps. You have to read your blockers once you get past the O-line to say, I need to go here or here. It's him. The talent is him. The legs are him. The ball getting into the end zone, that's him. He still has to do the work to get there, and he did that consistently throughout the season. Pick 7. Armand Membu from Mizzou, and I'm bringing him over to the Jets. You may be saying, Jalen, Armand Membu is not the best offensive tackle in this draft. And to that, I would say you are correct. He is not the best one. But for the Jets, is he the best one? Yes. And why is that? Because Armand Membu is a natural right tackle. And you know who they drafted last year? Olu Fashanu, a left tackle from Penn State. So what you do here is you solidify both sides of the line, right and left, for your new quarterback, Justin Fields. Because you know what he didn't have in Pittsburgh, and you know what he didn't have in Chicago? Was an O-line. And that's why he struggled so much. And that's why he ran like a hyena all the time. Because he couldn't sit in the pocket. I'm not going to put a player like Will Campbell, who already has concerns over his physique, in a position that he hasn't played a lot. You know, he's a left tackle. And are you really going to spend the 7th pick on a tackle you might move to guard, or a tackle you might move to the whole other side of the line? I don't think that's worth it for you. And that's why I went with Armand Membu. Panthers, number 8, Jalen Walker from Georgia. Jalen Walker was my pick here, as I don't know if you remember, but the Panthers traded Brian Burns last year. And they're in need of a replacement at that edge position, because you know how valuable Brian Burns was for them. The edge position is one of the most crucial pieces on your defense. And without it, you're unable to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Because when they penetrate the line and they're getting in the quarterback's face, it makes them uncomfortable. It makes them make bad throws. It makes them make mistakes. When you're focused on a Jalen Walker, that opens up space for your Derek Brown to get to the quarterback. So when you have multiple guys who are weapons and can get to where you need them to get to, it opens up space for other players to shine on your defense. And that's what a player like Jalen Walker can do for the Panthers next season. Here he is, number 9, Saints. I'm going with Will Campbell, tackle from LSU. I think Will Campbell is the best tackle in the draft. And I would have taken him at 4 if Abdul Carter wasn't there. But Abdul Carter was there for me. So that's why I did that. Will Campbell is a great tackle. A great college tackle. I was listening to Mike Vrabel's press conference today. And when they asked him about Will Campbell, he said, Will Campbell played in the SEC. That's the best conference. And if he was successful at that position in the SEC, who's to say he won't be able to do that in the NFL? The Saints shouldn't take a quarterback early in this draft because I think they need to build their foundation before they get that guy to mend, to anchor the ship, to steer it forward, if you get what I mean. Like I said, trenches, 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 when I was talking about Mason Graham. Build your trench and then figure the rest out. Because there's so many good pieces on the Saints. You just got to get it all right before you get that quarterback on that rookie scale contract. Because guess what? They have cap issues. So get your tackle here and hope he works out. And if he doesn't, you move him to guard, and I'm sure he'll work out just fine. He's a great piece for a team like the Saints, and he gets to stay home. Trade again. So I'm coming up from 20 where the Steelers are, and I'm coming up to 10 where the Bears are. They're going to go back, and the Steelers are going to take Jalen Milroe. Recently, I've been hearing rumors about Jalen Milroe being the guy for the Steelers if he makes it to 20. And you heard what I said, if he makes it to 20. We don't know. Another team may say, I kind of like Jalen Milroe. I like his traits. Let me come up and get him. And then guess what? You don't get Jalen Milroe. Steelers fans right now are probably hoping that they can sign a veteran to anchor the ship for this following season, this upcoming season. And most likely it's going to be a guy like Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins. And that's perfect because what do they do well? They're good in the pocket and they're great at making passes. What does Jalen Milroe struggle with? Exactly what those two quarterbacks are good at. When you get Jalen Milroe, you can sit him, let him learn and develop from two of the best quarterbacks from the last 10 years. Let them teach him how to be an NFL quarterback, what he needs to do in certain situations. If you saw what happened with Jordan Love, he was not ready to start when he came into the league out of Utah State. But learning from Aaron and Aaron's process turned him into a mini Aaron Rodgers. And if you can get that right, if the Steelers can figure that out, you see how I put his stats. I put both his rushing and his throwing stats because he's a dual threat player. Jalen Milroe scored 20 rushing touchdowns. He ran for more touchdowns than he threw. And that's saying something. The talent is there. He just needs to put it together. And if he can go to a place that gives him the time to put that together, you may have something. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.